morning. I'm in Exeter. We're staying at Exeter University for this conference thing. It's just so pretty. It's such a lovely place to be at university. I went briefly for about a year to Newcastle up north, which were reap proper Kenny. I loved it. I had a really good time. That's a whole other story for another time. And I'm going to walk into town for my first appointment at 11 this morning with Georgia, who's going to give me a thrashing on the Cadillac. And I'm in equal parts excited and nervous, to be honest with you. Yeah, you just get in your comfort zone, don't you, when you're just teaching. I feel fit, I feel well, but I am in my comfort zone, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what she's got for me and seeing how I measure up on the Cadillac, which I've not done in years and years and years. And yeah, wish me luck. So at this point, I didn't have a ton of time, but I had a few minutes to grab a little protein yogurt and gather my thoughts, because I wasn't going into this with no preparation, but I wanted to remain a little bit mindful, a little bit this is the beginning of the project. What am I actually doing here? Why am I going to see Georgia? So I just gave myself a little 10 minutes to really sit with some intentions and think about what I wanted to get out of this. I just wanted to meet another Pilates teacher. I wanted to see where my flaws, my weaknesses are in my own Pilates technique, and just get some confidence up for this project.
I'm just thinking of integrating the chair now.
Yeah, don't worry.
I just think it'd be nice to do that. So we're going to start with a standing roll down.
So I didn't think it would be particularly useful or interesting to just film the whole session, just upload it as a chunk, because I did film everything. So what I'm going to do is just whiz through a few bits. I'll talk to you like this and just explain a few of my favourite little bits and bobs that we did. And then I'm going to pause and I'm going to show you some actual footage of us interacting during this session and some of Georgia's really, really lovely cueing. So we started off on the chair, which is my latest obsession. I love it. I need one. We did some really lovely stuff to get my back moving. And I think it just gave her the opportunity to just see my body and what she was dealing with as well. So really, really nice. And then we came onto the Cadillac and we did a little bit of shoulder protraction, a little bit of awareness stuff. She checked my alignment. And then we did footwork, which was cool because it was so different to what I'm used to on the reformer. So let me just pause here and I'm going to show you how Georgia set me up on the Cadillac, because it's a really clear way to get things going.
Okay, so we'll start with a pelvic curl and a spine twist and a chest lift to warm up. So we're going to use the bar for the pelvic curl to add a shoulder press as well. So you're going to lie down supine with your head on the headrest there. And then feet are parallel in front of you, in line with the sit bones, and we're going to take a hold of the bar with the hands. Thumbs are active as well. I'm going to get you to shuffle forward just slightly, actually, so that your shoulders are slightly more under the bar. About there. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so pelvis is in a neutral position, nice heavy tailbone. I'm going to get you to just practice some shoulder protraction and retraction. So let the springs pull the shoulders forward so they're rounding in, and then slide the shoulders down and engage into those shoulder stabilizers.
That's a really clear way to get that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
So bring your attention to the outside of your hip. So you feel like you're turning out in your hip as you come in.
Because I don't have much external rotation on my hips, I've got to cheat, get my feet out.
Do you feel that you don't? Is that something you feel? Okay.
Well, I suppose it's all relative.
Or is it more that you just
It's all
have a
relative.
tendency to not use it?
From a kind of dancer's perspective, I never had much time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
cheat and do it further down.
So good. So now they're coming together. So just imagine if you were standing and I just asked you to just twist out in your hip socket. That feeling, that twist and that engagement on the side of the hip. Just try to maintain it. Okay. Exhale, press to straight legs, and let's point the feet now so that arches are nice and active and you're still in turn out from the hip. So think of twisting out in your hip joint. Okay, so you're going to inhale to bring the legs up the centre line so they come above the hips. That's it, good. You're going to exhale to press down the centre line, keeping those abdominals nice and strong. You're going to inhale, you're going to circle the legs around and up above the hip joint and back together at the top.
Once I'd finally wrapped my head around the idea of rotating from my hip sockets, Georgia moved us on to a couple of other things, and I loved these bits. This is a beautiful sequence. I appreciate a sequence. I think it's the dancer in me. I love a little kind of flow with 2 or 3 little things together, and this just took all my concentration and felt so good. And then we did a little teaser. I loved the having the bar there to assist with the teaser. It was really, really nice. We're starting to come towards the end of the session now. So after this, we moved on to our kind of a final little moment of working on the chair, which burnt my quads like hell, and I loved it. And then we did this little hanging back extension, which I found to be frustrating in a sense that I felt like I had strength elsewhere on my body, but my wrists, my forearms, my grip strength was totally letting me down. So I was really embarrassed. I was like, I can't do another one. My hands are going to give out on me. So we changed tact, and I was like, okay, girl, you've got to work on that grip strength because I want to be able to hang upside down off a Cadillac.
Really nice. And then drop the chin down, start to close the ribs towards the hips, come back to that middle position, and then flex the feet, send the sit bones back, but don't let the shoulder connection go. And drop the tailbone. And if you're ready to go straight into another rep, go for it.
Can I readjust my hands actually?
Yeah.
I feel like my grip strength is letting me down.
Yeah. It's really, you get a bit of a burn in your forearm. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So start with your neutral spine. So send your tailbone back slightly. Shoulders connected down. Exhale, curl the tailbone under. Press through the back of the legs. Keep the ribs firmly knitted down at the front. Slide those shoulders down a bit more. Pull the bars towards you a little bit more. So shoulders neutral. And then lift your breastbone towards the front of the room. So that's quite ribby, so keep the ribs down a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. That looks amazing. That looks so, so good.
She said amazing. Honestly, I was like so frustrated with my wrists. So Georgia changed tact a little bit here. We did a beautiful kind of back extension prone on the Cadillac, which was lovely. And then we kind of wrapped things up really. She'd given me so much of her time. I was so appreciative. And she even stuck around at the end as well. And we had a little chat about all things Pilates and what it's like to be a Pilates teacher and that kind of thing, which is I want to start to kind of feature that kind of thing on this channel. So I decompressed a little bit. I left Georgia to go grab a coffee and head off for the rest of her weekend. And I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes kind of real-time post-session thoughts and feelings, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So I'm sat here in the grounds of Exeter Cathedral, as you can see, in the sunshine, which is amazing because forecast was not actually great for this few days, so I'm very, very pleased that it's a nice sunny day. I've got lots of walking around the city to do today. So I've just had my session with Georgia and it was absolutely incredible. I totally loved it. She's a really, really good teacher, like genuinely. Her cueing was so precise, she was encouraging, she had that kind of slight strict thing, like it really made me want to like work. Her use of like hands-on cueing was really good, and I don't do that very much, a bit, but I don't do it a huge amount in my group classes, so that's given me a little something to think about, because actually I found it really, really effective. And I mean, it was everything I hoped for. I went in and I wanted to reconnect with the Cadillac and kind of refamiliarise myself with that and just like have a go on it. Georgia also very kindly kind of adapted her plan for me so that we could use the chair a little bit as well, which was one of my favourite bits actually. It was like leg shaky, it was really challenging. I thought, oh, I need to get me a chair. So I loved that. And I found myself just totally, I really wanted to embrace that kind of just client energy and really just focusing on myself and my own technique, and just really with a lot of humility, really just, treat me as a beginner. I really want to make sure I'm getting this right. I really want to find those weaknesses and those flaws. And she did a fantastic job of pointing out things when I needed to, little hands-on, little reminders, shoulders, hips, ribs down, little hand-on guidances or whatever, but also very encouraging. Lots of positive reinforcement. I don't know, she was just brilliant. She was so like authoritative but calm, and I felt so like entrusted in her. Is that the right word? Like I just totally trusted her knowledge and her guidance. She made me feel very safe. Yeah, it was just brilliant. It was so nice. The studio was lovely, lovely little space. It felt like a very, very focused session, and I loved that. It's just what I needed. The only thing is I super heavy came on my period this morning, so I was feeling a bit like slightly worried about leaking, because they had an awful leak this morning. My tummy was really crampy, when you just like, I'm in my hoodie, do you know what I mean? When you get that like periody feeling, I was like, oh, I really wish I was just feeling a little bit fresher and a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more energetic and strong. So and also we did some hanging stuff at the end. Oh my goodness, I was awful. I did like 2 of them and I was like, I can't do this. My grip strength and my forearms just totally gave up on me, and I was like, well, this is embarrassing. So I'm going to practice that. I'm going to, like I said to her, my daughter's really into monkey bars at the moment at the park, so I'm going to have to go to the kids park with my daughter and just like practice hanging on those monkey bars, do some bouldering. But yeah, I was like hanging, and I was like, I feel like my upper body strength is good, and I feel like I was kind of getting the right positions and stuff, but I was like, my hands are just gonna fly straight off this bar. So I was like, girl needs to work on her grip strength and forearm strength. So that was good. That's what I was there for. I wanted to figure out those little weaknesses and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, I'm feeling really enthused. I'm just feeling so thankful to Georgia for a great session, and so kind of pumped full of enthusiasm about all this stuff that we do, Pilates and movement, helping people, and I'm feeling like I've taken my first step in the right direction. Like this kind of quite self-indulgent little project of mine again, and doing more sessions and meeting other people and trying other movement modalities and stuff. I'm like, this is a good idea. This is gonna be good. So what I'm going to do now, I actually don't have too long to faff about. I need a little something, need a little bit of sustenance, but I don't want to have something too heavy for my next session. I thought I'd have loads of time now, but I just need to grab a little something, and then I've got about a half an hour walk, so I'm going to put my podcast back on, and I'm going to go and find Cece, who is going to lead me through a gyrotonic session. I don't think I'm going to be able to film much of that, but I'll do what I can, and I'll fill you in afterwards. But I'm super intrigued about what gyrotonics is all about, and I hope I've still got some energy in my body to do that. But all right, see you in a bit.